Hello, are you scared to be seen? Does it give you a little bit of the icky feelings if you actually do go live, put your face out there, share what it is that you do in fear of being judged, maybe even judged by family and friends? Well, take a deep breath because today I'm actually going to share with you my personal story around being scared to be seen. So, as always, hold on in as we get started with our theme song as we wait for all our VIPs to come back in the room, jump into the VIP room. If you are on the replay, then you can scan through. But of course, if you like our theme song, then listen. I'll be back in 3.5 minutes where I will share with you my fear around being seen.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Welcome to our weekly strategy with Sally, and today I thought I would share with you a personal story around my fear of being seen. Are you somebody who kind of cringes at posting on social media what it is that you do? Come on, be honest, tippy tap fingers and let me know in the chat. Are you somebody who thinks I should put some videos out there with my face on it, or I should go live. But the ick factor sneaks in, and imposter syndrome, and that horrible fear of being judged. Is that you? I know it's a horrible, horrible feeling. Sharon says yes. I know there are lots more eyeballs out there. Let me know. Get out your tippy tap fingers and let us know. So today I wanted to share with you what I did to overcome my fear. There was a couple of things that actually triggered this. Way back in 2015, I found this piece of software called Periscope. Does anybody remember Periscope? Periscope used to get that little uh-oh, or was that ICQ? I don't know. It was one of the two. Now I'm showing my age because I'm talking ICQ. But you would get this little bing and somebody would be live streaming, and it was very interactive, and even the comments would come in way faster than they do now when people comment. But I was seeing these people that I admire and I followed just going for their morning walk and going live. Now, I'm somebody who has a graphic design background and I'm a photographer. I mean, back when we used to develop in the studios with the black and white film, right? So for me, I was always behind the camera. When I grew up, all through primary school and through high school, I was that fat black chick, right? They used to say, get out of the way, you fat black bitch. That's really horrible, right? I was picked on. I was bullied. You can see I don't actually get much sunlight anymore. So my tan, even though I'm Asian, part Asian, has definitely disappeared because I don't have a lot of vitamin D anymore because it's literally my house through the backyard into my office. But I was bullied a lot through high school. And I was very fearful of putting my face on camera, putting my face on anything that I had posted. Then I joined network marketing. And, at the time, my mum was like, oh, that pyramid scheme. But honestly, I was just selling really fun, pretty things. I was selling stick-on nails that were holographic and rainbow and colourful. So I started sharing photos of my nails, right? And I would post on social media, say how fun they were. Great. I had a photography background, so I could take really good photos. But, I was still scared to show my face. Continuing to watch people on Periscope, and I want to shout out to one of my long-term mentors, and now I help them out, is Shalene Johnson. She said, just do it. Just hit the button, go for a walk, and share what you do. And another couple of people I used to follow on Periscope was Zach Spuckler and also Coach Glitter. So those three people had a massive influence on me finally stepping out from behind the camera and in front of the camera to finally go live. So what did I do? I set my phone up on an old packing box that we had in the house, and I got a roll of toilet paper to sit my phone on, because if you can imagine, if you set your phone up on, it leans backwards, so it looks at the sky if you're leaning it. So if I had a roll of toilet paper, I could kind of lean it forward so that a photographer thing, you're a little bit higher than your eye line so you don't get the double chin. And I set it up, and it took me 2 weeks. Every other day I would go down, I would set up the phone, I would go to hit the button. Fear would overwhelm me. I would get that anxious feeling, and I could feel in my throat, my heart was beating. And I would walk away. I would go and clean the pantry, fold the laundry, do anything else because, I'm too busy to hit that button. Then one day I finally hit the go live button. I was nervous. I ummed a lot. No joke, I could feel the sweat running down my back and into my butt crack. That's how nervous I was. I could feel my diaphragm shaking from nerves. And back then, Periscope had lots and lots of spammers, right? Trolls who would say horrible things. It was just young kids sitting around with nothing else better to do with their time. So what did I do at the end of my first live? Well, I deleted it. Yep, I deleted it from my phone. I deleted it from the live stream, and I regret it so much that I deleted my first live stream. I highly recommend, even if you're not confident to leave it up, don't delete it. Because if I could look back now, we're in 2016, this was back in 2015 or the end of 2015, early 2016, 10 years. I would like to see what that looked like. Wouldn't you? It'd be a laugh. So I started showing up more, but I had this massive awakening. If you've ever been to a conference or you've watched somebody do a speech and it moves you so much that it brings tears to your eyes, have you ever attended one of those where the speaker has just hit words and said things that literally hit you emotionally really, really deep, and then your eyes start watering? Deborah says yes. So I was over in America. I was in Disney Worlds in Orlando. I think it was that one. Yes, it was definitely that one. I was listening to a woman called Valerie Burton, and she was speaking about being seen. She had a book at the time called Successful Women Think Differently, which then I read it or listened to it so many times after that conference. But there were a few things she said during that conference. One of the things, she had this big goal to help people. And she was always scared to be known, to be seen, which of course resonated with me. But she also knew that the more she was seen, the more haters that there were going to be. And I'm like, oh, yes, that's me. And then she said, but in order to help and really, really help people, I need to be known. And so what she did was she set herself a goal to be interviewed by Oprah. By Oprah. Now, Oprah, to me, Oprah was somebody back in my younger years when I was living through trauma that literally stopped me from stopping my own life. That's the type of connection I felt at the time that I had with Oprah. So when she's like, I'm going to get onto Oprah. But how? Well, how would she get onto Oprah? She needs to become well known. Oprah's not going to invite somebody on that nobody knows about. So that was her mission. No matter how many haters she got, no matter how many people said horrible things to her, she was on a mission to be interviewed by Oprah. And she said lots more horrible comments, and she just had to grow a thick skin because she knew that she would not be able to do what she truly wanted to if she didn't get seen. And guess what? She got on Oprah. How amazing is that? Now, what really, really hit home for me after learning about her story of not being seen, she actually did a little activity, and she got us to write down, she got us to do a few things to really tap into the big underlying why and what we're afraid to actually say out loud. Now, earlier on in that conference, I was walking through and I was pretty well known within that little tiny network marketing company that I was working for because I was always helping and serving within the community. Even people that weren't on my team, if they were orphans and had no decent upline, I would take them under my wing, not to pull them out of their team, just to help them. Didn't take their money, didn't, put them under our team. I just wanted to help. So I started getting a bit of a reputation. I was walking through the conference one night and there were these two women walking behind me. And they said, oh, that's Sally Sparks' Cousins. She's famous. And oh my God, my heart dropped. My gut anxiety. I could feel my heart up in my throat again. And I wanted to go and crawl under a table and hide. I did not want to be famous. But after Valerie, and after she did that activity, and this might seem really silly, but the thing that I wrote in my book, and I still have it to this day, was I want to help and inspire women in business through sharing my story. That was it. Now, that might sound very simple, but there's a bigger feeling behind it. It got me to the point when she was speaking. Have you ever cried so hard that you're gasping for air and you're like, that's how intense that connection I had with her on stage. Now, she'll never know me. She's never met me. I actually drew a picture of her and her son many years ago, a black and white one, and I sent it to her, hoping she might say hi. She never did. But her speaking on stage was the thing that shifted everything for me. I started showing up more, which then actually equated to building my online marketing, my network marketing team faster. I got started to get noticed by these influencers that I'd been following. Even the amazing Chalene Johnson, they actually ended up approaching me for their Marketing Impact Academy to be a professor, to teach course creation. They did ask me to also teach membership and automation, but I never got around to it, which I really regret. But at least I'm still in her program, and her son's been on our podcast, Brock Johnson. He's amazing. He's been a guest speaker at a few of our events as well, as an expert. Now, none of that would have happened if I had continued to hide behind the camera. Fear of being judged. The word famous kind of makes you feel like you've got this ego. And I didn't want people to see me as somebody who had an ego. 10 years later, I realized, yeah, I do have a bit of an ego, right? Words of affirmation, baby. That's my love language. Tell me you love me and I'm amazing and I'm good for a month. See, my husband, that's all he needs to do. So just by pushing through the fear, the anxiety, because at the end of the day, I don't do this for me. I do it for the people that I want to help and inspire. Now, something else that actually happened, in 2017, I resigned from my network marketing company because I wasn't able to run my online academy and the network marketing, and some other stuff happened within the company that didn't sit quite right with me. Even though head office was ringing saying, don't leave, because I was one of the top 1% of the company, I was pigeonholed a little bit. So after I resigned, I had a crazy idea one day on one of my lives. I said, I'm going to go live for 365 days, and I just wonder what might happen. What might happen? I know it was a crazy thought, and I started. And I believe I still have that video that promised. I believe I did it on Periscope and then reposted it over on YouTube. You can go back and scroll through the thousands of videos and try and find it if you want to. Day 1 of my 365 Sparkle Live Challenge. But when I started, I had a pretty okay following on my Facebook page. I'd grown it to around 2,000 because I had a lot of people from network marketing that had started to follow me. I was running a couple of ads to teach them how to take good photos. And guess what? How to go live. Really just teaching them my photography skills about lighting and framing and, how to start on it, like the first word you should say on a live. But guess what happened? 365 days of going live. Now, sometimes it was multiple times a day. If I had a thought, I would share it. A couple of times, like I had an argument with my husband. Nobody goes a whole year without a bit of an argument here or there. Keeps the relationship fresh. I couldn't put my face on camera. I had big red crying eyes. So I went live and I said, who loves to watch the flames dance in a fire? Let's do some mindfulness together and watch the flames. And because I had the fire burning on a weekend in our backyard, I just had the camera on the flames, sat there for 2 or 3 minutes, said, I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye. There was another time I had eye surgery throughout that time. Like I actually had a bird, a big African grey at the time. Big African grey on my shoulder with a big eye patch. I look like a pirate. But I got home from the eye surgery because it was a big eye surgery. I walked in the door and I'm like, I got to go to bed. I'm still groggy from the anesthetic. I went live and I said, just got home from eye surgery. I'm good. Got nothing. Goodbye. I did my live for the day. Another funny one was, it was 2 minutes to midnight. And I rolled over and I went, I'd forgotten to go live. I literally got up out of bed, ran quietly into the kitchen, went live and go, hi, 2 minutes to midnight. I made it. Everyone's asleep. Good night. And that was it. Done. Right? I got my live done. At the beginning, the family were there. They were supporting. They started to remind me, have you done your live today? A little bit like my husband says, have you taken your pills today? They got into that muscle memory of, mum's going live every day. So they started to remind me. Very early on, you can actually scroll back YouTube, look for the Bush Barista. My husband started doing lives with me on Sunday and teaching about coffee beans, different types of grinding. We showed all of his different coffee contraptions that we would take with us when we were traveling around Australia, filming for a TV show called Your 4x4 and 4-Wheel Drive TV. So you can go back and see where my husband was helping me. A couple of times, I used to also teach people how to sell their products during a live stream. It was a great light bulb brain moment that I had one day on how to, and people do it all now. I'm like, I wish I had capitalized on that back in the early day because it was literally a thought I had. How can we go live and sell stuff? Because live streaming was very new. My daughter would come on and hold up the pretty nails and hold up the things to help, because I was selling off all my old stock. Eventually, towards the end of the 12 months, they would literally run away. Every time I would lift up the phone, they would be scared I was going to go live. So off they'd shoot. After the full 12 months, I just went quiet for so long because every time I pick up the phone, even though it was over, my family wouldn't even let me take photographs of them because they started getting, I don't know what shifted for them. And also, I guess the culture around live streaming became more popular. Back when I started, it wasn't so popular. Very few people were doing it. And to be honest, very few people actually do it now, to be honest. I'll usually ask a room, like I asked a room full of a few hundred people at a conference I spoke at last year. And maybe half a dozen to a dozen hands, maybe held up that they actually use live stream. But that Facebook account from 2000 grew to 70,000 followers in 12 months. Crazy. Who knew that putting my face up there would get me that many people following my business page? Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, to say that, don't forget, that's still just vanity metrics, right? We still need to be capturing leads and all the things because a follow is not the same as collecting an email address and growing your list. So I just want to put that out there. Follows are great, but they're still just vanity metrics. They're not actually, you can't turn that into dollars unless you've really got email addresses and phone numbers. I've seen people, literally millions of followers, launch a product, it fails because nobody buys. That's a story for another day. So that's another thing. Now, I'm going to ask you, and be totally honest with me, what if I missed a day of live streaming? Because I did. I actually woke up one day through the 365 days, I was at 200 and something, And I woke up and I was like, oh, shit. I forgot to go live yesterday. So we were out at dinner with friends and I went live. I walked out of the restaurant and into where they were closing down the shopping center. And I went live and I said, look, guys, I'm so sorry. I forgot to go live yesterday. But I'm here. Guess what happened after that live? I was really surprised at the amount of DMs and messages that I got from people saying, oh, well, you must be relieved that you don't have to do that anymore. What? So can I ask you, now I want you to be honest. I just told you I went live for 365 days, sometimes multiple times a day. But I missed a day. Do you think I can still claim that I went live for 365 days? Yeah, I can see all the heads nodding in here. Thank you. I like that. That's the response I wanted. I want you to be honest. No, because honestly, I did it multiple times on some days. There was a really good one, which I'm kind of a bit disappointed that Facebook removed all the live streams like a while ago when I wasn't aware that you had a certain amount of time to download all your lives. They're living on a server somewhere here at home. One day, maybe I'll have the team to go through and find all those really, really old lives that are saved on our server. But I'm still going to claim it because also this goes back to if shit goes wrong, you don't give up. Continue. Like you can make mistakes. You can have imperfect action. Because I missed a day, should I throw away what I've gotten to and not try to get to 365? No. That's like, you start walking to get healthy, you miss a day and you go, oh, well, not worth going anymore, right? Go to the gym, miss a day. Oh, well, there goes that membership I missed today. No, I still continued. And my last day that I went live, my husband and my daughter did come on and share some of their stories as well of what it had been like with me going live every day. Now, it doesn't have to be live. It can be pre-recorded. These lives that I do with you every week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. streaming live on YouTube because YouTube doesn't delete your videos like Facebook does. So if you truly want to follow all my lives, you're best to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sally Sparks Cousins, of course, or we stream to both OmniSam and Sally Sparks Cousins. But all of my lives from 2017 and beyond, I don't know how many there are now, are saved somewhere, and we can continue to make content from that. We've just hired some new team members this week that have come in that are going to be doing more editing of my lives because the previous editor didn't have the capacity to do that. So we will be taking these lives, we'll be chopping them up, and we will be repurposing them into reels and stories and audiograms, even still graphics. So there is so much more you can do from, and Vinodi sent me a message this morning at 9 o'clock. She goes, are you ready for Strategy with Sally? I said, I am. I said, I haven't prepared anything. You know why? Because today I really wanted to share with you my story. I know my story. I can tell my own story. But also to inspire you to put yourself out there. Now, something that we do with our community is try to ask you to just pick one day, same time, every week, go live. Now, you might always see me sitting in this office because most Tuesdays I'm home. But if I'm traveling, I just do it straight from my laptop. I now have pretty decent mic gear because we repurpose these into podcasts, but I still have okay mic gear when I travel. I do have one portable mic, not very expensive, that just USBs straight into my machine when I'm traveling. So I can stop for 30 minutes to do my live Strategy with Sally. As long as I've got the internet, I can work from anywhere. So that's my GSD challenge for you. Today, I want you to choose a regular day and time each week to just share a little something. Now, let me share what I would do when I had to come up with a topic every day. I would walk around with, and I'm just going to grab them for you. These little books, right? These are from Kiki K. They're A5. So if you can't see this, you'll have to head to the YouTube channel if you're just listening to this new year. But these are little A5 books. They come out in different seasons, so you get different designs. They come in packs of 3. They also have, and I've done book publishing, so I'm a little bit of a pre-press publishing nerd as well. But the spine is actually stitched, right? It doesn't have staples, which means I can fold the book, I can do whatever, and the thing's not going to fall apart. They fit neatly into a handbag. You can get half this size again. Whenever ideas would pop up, or I'd watch a video, or I'd read something, I'd write it in the book. When I needed a topic, I would just flick through and go, I'm going to teach 3 ways of thinking. Be, do, have. Look, there's a lesson right in there. 3 ways of thinking. Be, do, have. And the other thing I would do is I didn't need a full script. The things that I understand, I know. So all I would do is 3 to 4 dot points. I would literally hold the piece of paper, just look down, and then talk, and then look down, and then put my head back up and talk. Because if you talk about what you know, it's just like sitting across the table and talking to a friend. Literally, I'm looking straight in the camera now, and I'm seeing my friends. I can look down here and I say hi to Deborah, hey to Sharon, and those all hanging out. But that's what I do. I look straight into the camera, look at the little green dot if you don't have a bigger camera, and I just talk. One of our old staff members, Megan, she works for Kajabi. She came and worked for us part-time. One thing she said one day I really loved, if you talk long enough, good shit's bound to fall out. Right? Some of the stories that I share in my trainings happened by chance. I just started to share a story that evolved into this like umbrella story, if anyone's ever heard it before, on how to get from point A to point Z. And we talk about an umbrella and it's raining on you, and you walk across and you stand next to somebody and you hold up the umbrella and support them. That story, it goes into much more detail, but I shared that during a live training one day. And at the end of the live training, I asked, what did you like best? And so many people said that umbrella story really cleared up messaging for me. And I was like, well, guess what? That story, that one's going in the book bank of ideas that I share during my education sessions when I'm teaching. So if you're watching this and you're still here and you're at the end, I want you to send us an email or go and join the GSD by OmniSam Facebook group. And I want you to post in there for accountability, saying that you just listened to this Strategy with Sally episode and you are committing to going live weekly, not daily. You don't have to do 365, just one day a week, 5 minutes, if that's all it is. One little hot tip that you can share. You see, there is no way you can share your entire framework. There is no way you can share everything you know in a little tiny live every week. And including your method, right? The time it would take people to go through all of your live streams to put the pieces together in the right order is not going to happen. You could literally share the meaning of life or how to become successful to a group of 100 people, and you would be lucky if one person actually took all of those things and did anything with them, actually implemented. It's about showing up, being seen, sharing your gift with the world so that you can stay front of mind, tip of tongue. Don't be scared of the haters. Don't worry about the trolls. Don't feed the trolls, right? I sometimes I do because it's fun. Because I'm not really scared. I'm not scared. Well, I will digress. I have a little vulnerable share that I want to share with you. Yes, I still go live every Tuesday for Strategy with Sally because that's what I've been doing for years. Years. It used to be called Mentoring with Sally. It was called Straight Talk with Sally. It was called Monday Mentoring. It was called Sparkle Coffee Time, where I'd go live in the mornings. It's had lots of names over the years, but the impromptu, just got an idea, hit that go live button and share, it doesn't happen like it used to. Very, very rarely. To be totally honest with you, when I finished doing the live and my husband and daughter had become very anti when it comes to social media, even though it was buying TVs and renovating the backyard, I have made myself smaller for them to keep them comfortable. I was literally talking to Ash about this the other day. I need to just pick up that phone every time I've got a thought, like I used to, and just share it. And you know what now? Facebook deletes it after 30 days anyway, as long as I save it to my phone. I'm trying to get better. I do want to get better, and I want to be back where I was so much more confident, because I do feel anxiety sneak in. Literally, I get to 7 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I'd love to just go live. Like last night I was painting and I thought, how nice would it be to just hit the go live button and see if anyone wants to paint and watch me paint? Because I literally watch people paint on a regular basis. It's like mindfulness for me. I watch people doing art, lots of painting, paint pouring, all sorts of painting techniques. I'm constantly watching. I love it. And I thought, well, maybe I could, because I was mindful painting. My therapist told me yesterday, you must paint tonight, no work. So I need to get better myself. I am not perfect. Sure, I do go live every week, so I at least hold myself to that. But I know that I should be doing more, especially in this day and age where there is a bit of a trust drought, where people are, is that really them or is it AI? Right? I always say, you'll never AI this on a video. If you see this, it's me. Unless I'm like Superwoman flying through the sky, that's definitely AI. I can't do that, even though I'd love to. Actually, I'd like to be able to go invisible. That would be I'd love to be able to sneak in and hear what people say. Not about me, but just ideas and thoughts and get behind the scenes views. That would be really cool. But, you know, if you see something crazy or I'm a cartoon character, baby, that's AI. But that rawness, Ash and I were talking about it yesterday. We need to do more behind the scenes. I said we should do a in the day of Ash, right? She just does a little couple of snippets throughout the day showing what she has done. There's an old, I think it's a reel or a story. It might have been, I'd have to find it. If you want to see it, let me know. But I went and I spoke at a conference up in Brisbane. And I just said, I'm going to take 3 to 5 second videos throughout my entire trip. So I took a video of me kissing my husband. I took a video of me walking into the airport. Just airport sign, done. I took a picture of me, or a 3 to 5 second video of me putting my luggage on the little dispenser that takes it away. And then I took another 3-second video saying bye-bye to my luggage as it went away. I then, when I picked it up at the other end, I got onto the plane, maybe another 3-second video on the plane with my wine. So I did this 3 seconds, got a coffee in the morning, picked up my notebook to go to the conference, and then I mashed it all together in a weekend with me speaking at a live conference. And all it took me was every so often a 3 to 5 second video that I just mashed together. And this day and age, this was quite a few years ago, you've got tools that will do it for you. I had to literally edit it myself back then. Right? So have a think. Are there other ways than just the weekly live that you can start to capture behind the scenes footage? Because really, this is what people are more interested in than this put together stuff that I've got here, right? I'm framed beautifully. I'm talking to you. But who's going to have the time to sit through a 30-minute to 1 hour video every week of me? Some do, but most don't. So not only do your weekly live, are there ways that you can capture what it is you're doing? Are you planning your course? Have you just uploaded your first thumbnail into your course? Right? Share it. Share that authentic journey that you are doing with the people that know you so that you can build that know, like, and trust. So that's what your GSD, the main thing I want you to do is pick a day and a time to go live. And if you're even worried about that, sure, pre-record it, but it should drop at the same time every week. Head to the GSD by OmniSam Facebook group and put up your commitment statement. Put up the day you'll go live, the time, and make sure to include your time zone. And what I'm also going to allow you to do, now this is not to pitch, but you can share the link where they will find your live stream. And then a little bit of what it is that you help people with. And then go follow and support all of those people inside the GSD by OmniSam community. We also have another community in an app which we need to get better at using. But for now, most people head to Facebook. But we will get better at the actual app that we've got available for you. It's another one of those, the chef that doesn't cook at home scenarios. We're so busy building communities and courses for our members that ours gets a little bit, we're too busy putting the work into you. All right. So I hope that has given you some inspiration. I tell you, I was petrified of putting myself out there. You know what I see coming in the future? You know that little thing that I wrote in my book when I went and I cried my heart out with Valerie Burton? We're leading into what I've always wanted, which is starting that community of women. Now, if you're listening to this and you've gotten to the end of the podcast, you must love me. So this is a little sneaky peek. Not many people get to the end of these. We have slowly started to populate social media with Aussie women founders. No promotions, no advertising, only those in the know. Our goal is by September next year, which will be my official 10 years of running this business full time, not only will the launch of Aussie Women Founders, we will be slowly soft launching in the lead up to that. And then we'll be having a big party here in Geelong. We've got a brand new conference centre in Geelong and it will be opening later this year. There's a bit of a government grant too if we can get 300 people in the room and a certain percentage from interstate. They give us a little bit to help with the expense. Not enough to pay for it, of course, but at least a little bit to get 300 amazing women in a room. Now, that is that big dream from way back, would have been 2016, when I saw Valerie Burton. I've always wanted to launch it, but I've wanted stability so I can do it well. So if you go over on socials, have a little look. There's a Facebook page made for it. There's an Instagram made for it. Not much there though, nothing much yet. But it's in the pipeline. We'll slowly start promoting it to outside of our audience. But if you're here, you're in the know. You're a lifer. You're somebody who does listen to the end of these. So go stalk it. Some of the plans that we have will be a first round of invites to people who we know would make great community members. And we will be on the lookout and the search for quality subject matter experts to head up and be, frontline experts within the community. This is not Sally's Aussie Women in Business. This is Aussie Women in Business. Successful women supporting women who truly want to share their gift with the world. And that's where we'll create movement. And then guess what else I've got? Global Women Founders sitting there in the background. Yeah, it's sitting there. I've got the domain and everything. But we need to, again, you're in the know because you're right here at the end. You're a lifer. So keep an eye out. All right. As always, before we wrap things up, let's head on over to those people who are inside of the VIP room to get some key takeaways. What did you like best? Let's come first to Deborah. Come on up, Deborah. Let me see if I've got the right button here on my thing. Oh, I do. Hang on. Got to put Deborah in the thing. Where's my thing? Yes, Deborah, just try and speak and see if it brings you up.
Hi.
There she is. Deborah, what did you like best about today's strategy with Sally?
Oh, I like that I'm already doing some of what you're talking about, so I'm pleased. I have done 10 Thursdays in a row
Well done.
of it wasn't all lives.
Okay.
I've gone over to pre-recording,
Mhm.
and I've changed my time a little bit, so I will notify. I see that I can't manage before midday, so that's when it is. And I was doing a lot more on Instagram a while back, so you've kind of prompted me to do those kind of impromptu Instagram when I'm walking or when I'm, I don't know, cooking maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do a bit more of the impromptu stuff.
You know, some of the
Um,
podcasters that I listen to, they actually talk to you while they're on their walk. You can hear them walking and the birds in the
yeah,
background.
I've done that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done a few where I'm doing interval walking
Yep.
and yeah, I've done a few of those and but it's, at the while when I was doing them, it was mainly friends
Mhm.
and people who know me, not necessarily outside my circle. So maybe now there'll be a few more because
Yep.
I've got the active Facebook page. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
it's
I
just
think
about
that's my
consistency. 80% of your viewers
yeah,
won't be on your live. Most of them
no,
will be after you've been live
yeah,
watching the replay,
yeah,
or like us
yeah,
listening on the podcast as well,
yeah,
right? Or some of the
yeah,
snippets that we make from the live. I mean, Opus Clip will chop up your videos into little reels and stories for you. Just upload your end video and use Opus Clip. Maybe CapCut does it. I don't know. Where we've been using Opus Clip, but we've just been advised that CapCut might be just as good. So I can give you more on that
right,
later. But yeah, that's a
yeah.
cool app that will just literally take this video and chop it up and turn it into short reels and stories for you. What about you, Sharon? Come on up. What was something that you liked best today?
Um, Mine was about um doing the doing basically, go and start doing it, not because I'm not really doing anything. But I still don't have those 100 on my new Facebook page, but I just
But you
maybe just
can
pre-record.
pre-record exactly and just schedule
Yeah,
them to drop at the same time in all places. So
yeah,
there's something I heard from my business coach. He said things like thinking about doing it is not doing the thing. Right, doing something else is not doing the thing. Learning another course is not doing the thing. Making another picture is not doing the thing. Like he's got a whole list of them. I'm like, I need to steal that. That's a really good, not steal, but, model and add my own sparkle. But I think it's, we spend so much time doing busy work than actually the thing that we know is going to give us that movement. So if you know you
mm.
need to, and especially because you are going to be running live cooking classes, you need to be seen.
Yes, I do.
What about you, Jenny? I know you jumped in a little later, but what was a key takeaway for you? And my Ash left. I was going to bring Ash up on the screen, but she dashed out.
Um, I guess I do need to start doing the weekly lives. I've done a few lives like to my personal page, but I haven't been doing them regularly. But I do need to find a time and commit and start doing them so that people can see me. I've started like I've uploaded a few of my hour-long videos to YouTube at least, so I've got some of that done. I need to do more of that, but I also need to do that. Like I've got Opus clips, so I also need to chop some up and have them uploaded to Facebook. I've done a little bit of that, but I need to do more of that to get, you know, my face out there.
Yeah.
I need to dye my hair as well.
What are you going to go, rainbow, baby?
No, probably just brown.
Honestly, you know, I love you and your style and your crazy hair. We joked about it very early in our relationship together. Just embrace it, babe, you know, like, and where's your big green glasses you used to wear? You know, like, it's character. You have them?
I have them here, but one of the things has fallen off.
Oh.
Well, broke off.
Oh, yeah.
I still have it. I'm actually tempted to just glue it into the position so that this folds, but that one doesn't, and then I can have them again like that, because I do love green glasses.
So anybody who likes colourful glasses, here's a little plug for somebody. I went to a shop recently, and it's called Eye Gallery, and she has all the coloured glasses, all the different versions.
Oh, really?
Very boutique. So if you come down here, bring your subscription, or anybody who comes from anywhere to Geelong, bring your subscription. If you want bright, like
I love bright glasses.
Eye Gallery here in Geelong, make sure you tell them that Sally from OmniSam sent you, okay? But honestly,
I go down there and
Ash and I went in there and I was like, oh my God, that one and that one and that one and that one. So I am not going to be filling my next script at Specsavers, because, you know, that's covered by my health provider.
That's what I normally do. I do Specsavers.
Yeah, I've kind of run out. They don't have that many. I'm at the point now where I just keep getting the same one because they don't have a good selection of colour. The one I used to like, they've discontinued. But yeah, Eye Gallery, there you go. A little plug, I think, for Eye Gallery. So make sure you definitely tell them that Sally sent you if you do go there.
I will if I get down there. I will. Yeah, because I like it. From the very first pair of glasses I had, I thought I don't like, they were trying to sell me these ones that were clear and, you know, people wouldn't notice that you had glasses. And I thought, what a stupid thing to say. Of course people are going to notice you've got glasses on there. They're just not going to look very exciting.
I know, Ash wears
so
clear.
Yeah, my first glasses were bright red, and I've always looked for colours, and it's often really hard to find coloured glasses.
Yeah, I've seen your green glasses in Specsavers. I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And like I tried to get when I got glasses last year, I tried to get the green ones again, and they wouldn't sell them to me because they said they're not the right shape for my face or some such thing. Despite the fact that I wanted that colour and that style.
What? That is not a fast path.
No.
That's crazy. You should be able to get whatever you like.
Yes, I know. But anyway, I'm planning to glue those back together so I can wear them, because I want to wear them when I do recording for my course. I want the green glasses from the course.
Yeah, we've all, like, I claim my hair dye on Tax now because I use it. It stops the scroll.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, it's become like, I've been dyeing my hair rainbow since I was in high school, you know, back when it was a weird to do, and, you know, now it's fashionable.
Yes.
But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I do love it, but it also stops the scroll for my ads. So I'm like, I should claim it because it cost me a lot of money to do. And the reason I do it is for my brand. Somebody said to me once, if you buy something or do something and you ask yourself the question, would I buy this or do this if I didn't have my business? I probably would have stopped. Right. But I keep going because it's become part of the brand. So yeah, because especially how expensive it is. Like, it used to cost me maybe a couple of $100. It costs like over $1,000 to get my hair done now. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Luckily for me, Ash is very good at dyeing hair. So now I just buy the product and she does it for me, and I just pay her wages for the day. So she gets paid to dye my hair, her regular wages. So I save that money. And she's very good at it, as you can see. She's done a very lovely job.
Yes.
All right.
I wanted to say I love your dress on that was on Facebook. The was it the Met Gala dress?
Oh,
I love that.
I'm like,
that was
I need to
amazing.
take
All
that to a
those
designer.
colours.
Yeah. I need to take that to a designer and say, make
Yeah.
it. There was a few others. I'll share with you when we go dark. There was a few others that I did with that whole new,
Yeah.
that Met Gala thing that's going around at the moment. Awesome. All right, let's close this on out. For all of those on the live stream and you're still there, say hi. Lovely that you made it to the end. As always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you do your GSD task that we suggested as well. And everyday be marketing. All right, beautiful humans. We'll see you on our next live. And maybe if I can get my courage to start hitting that button more, maybe you'll see me show up a few more random lives. I should practice what I preach, right? Yeah. All right. I'll see you on the next live, guys. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares